Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised.
Do I have anything fun and flirty to say? And the answer is no. I am a whimsicalist fool who can't do a cold open today.
Yeah, you can just say that. All right, we're locking in. We're getting right to business.
Mm-hmm.
Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Hero's Blade Vibe Check.
Quinn, I think it's time for me to give up Commander completely.
What the fuck?
Yes, I've abandoned it. I have gone beyond Zen Cole in Monk's robes with only 10 decks. It is time for me to just completely abandon the concept completely and now become a dedicated cube player.
Oh, we're entering the Johnny Mardu cube era.
Yes, I've made one deck. Now it's time to just move on completely.
All right, well, this is an acceptable path of development for you.
Some would say it's a radical change, in which case it would be, and that's a completely fictional thing that I just made up, and that's not happening. But I do have my new hyper fixation, which is making a cube, of which we will go into that later. So first things first, let's get the usual upkeep out of the way. So it's time to check the pinned messages of who our next guest is, and it might even be a surprise to them, but we're gonna be getting hopefully trying to get Draco Lucian on finally after we have cleared the backlog. So yeah, we got a guest episode coming up, and we got a few more in the pipeline, and I need to double check availability before I make any truly definitive statements, but it's in the recording now. Future Cole, shrug, deal with it.
I do this to myself.
I can't believe you would do that to yourself.
Yeah, well, won't be the first time, won't be the last time. Let's just get on to what we've been doing non-magic wise and then get on with the rest of the episode.
All right, yeah, so primarily, I have been playing Arena Standard, actually.
Oh, okay.
I just... yeah, there was something that, switched recently that I wanted to just be jamming games of that. So we're playing a lot of decks with the Cool But Rude class in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Mardu discard deck that I've been playing.
Tell me more. Interest is growing.
Yeah, there's that Boros 2-drop, Hardened Technician or something like that, with the discard activated ability. There's an elf that has a discard ability. There's the Druid, obviously, that wants to see the discards. We've got some Tersa Light Shatters. We've got some Inti Seneschal of the Suns.
Oh, you mean Hardened Academic, excuse me.
Hardened Academic, thank you.
Yeah, because I'm Hardened Tactician is a completely other card, a completely different card from a completely different set, so...
Thank you for finding the right one.
I'm like, check it out.
We're just playing a lot of cards that either want to see cards discarded or give you the ability to discard cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the I think you're supposed to be playing Erode these days, but I didn't have those in my library or the wild cards to craft
and also
them,
I was gonna say dang, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, so we've been playing the Bitter Triumph in that slot instead, and it's obvious not as good as 1 mana removal,
mm-hmm.
but it'll do because it wants you to do the discard, and so we're still getting all of our triggers off. And it's just really satisfying to see that they put all of these puzzle pieces in the standard environment for you to play with, and you can just pick and choose what you want to. It's really cool. There's 2 completely different discard decks that I'm enjoying that are it's just Cool But Rude. That's the same in between them, basically.
Yeah, the focal point of the 2 decks. I'm kind of taking a look because I'm okay, what the fuck are we working with here? So 4 of Bloodghast,
Yes, you get to discard Bloodghast, play your land drop, drag that back from the grave, and get to swing it if you're within the right health total range.
Yeah. The Hardened Academic, 4 of, unsurprising, fantastic. The new card, Iron Shield Elf. Someone was raving about this card.
Guy. It's hard to remove, and it furthers your game plan by discarding. So, yeah. Oh, there was a couple of cards that I didn't have with that, so I was just like, fuck it, we'll play small ball removal, or not removal, reanimator spells then. So I can bring some guys back from the grave with those, like, surgical suite type cards.
Yeah, like, look for combined mana value 3 among the things you're discarding, bring that assortment back to the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly. The like, helping hand type beats, all of that.
Cool. All right. Dang.
It's been pretty fun. I really like to stack the cool but rude triggers on the stack. In the blue-red version, there's Talian's Messenger that you play a lot of. And that guy, like, it discards, cool but rude discards, Inti discards, and you just, like, the stack fills up with triggers, and it definitely, like, is very satisfying to watch and resolve.
No kidding. All right, Quinn, it's time for a new character arc. I am no longer a cube player. I guess I'm playing standard now.
They show you one sick Mardu deck, and you're like, all right, that's it.
Well, tell me less. I abandon all of my values to become a standard player.
Hashtag grinder era.
Yeah, no, that is definitely not happening. That's
not trying to PTQ.
That's no, I know there are some people out there that absolutely love the idea of being like a huge pro Magic player and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I don't want that smoke. I'm good. I'm good to just deal with like regular Commander smoke.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of smoke, you've been cooking?
Yes, including maybe some of the hot oil smoke and like burning. Anyway, so hey, cooking, right? Like I've mentioned it before, and I probably post about it more in like Discords and sometimes like my Blue Sky. But I have been cooking. I've been cooking, obviously like a very long time. But I think maybe within the last couple of years in particular, I've more or less, quote unquote, refined and honed my skills. So I've been cooking a lot of things, usually including like a bunch of like debatably Chinese like fried rices and stuff. And right now, I guess like to kind of tie into that, so it's like I'd encourage anyone to look up a couple things. Go listen to the You Know What's Cool Let 'Em Cook episode by,
that episode was so good
and very informative, as you're like dawning in horror about all the money that you spend on being a patron of restaurants, which that shit adds up real quick.
Yeah, they really just like take a look at the math behind ordering food and not preparing it yourself, and just like the amount that you can save by spending that effort rather than the dollars is significant. And it's just like, oh man, it's really hard to ignore that.
Yeah, no kidding. So definitely go encourage anyone to go listen to that. You can be saving a lot of money by not being a patron. Could Magic players take a lesson from this? Much to think about. And on that same line, not to get real, but like, we get real a little bit here and there with some of the people that come on and all whatever. But hey, I know some people are having a hard time right now making their ends meet, and the increase of pricing of food and everything is not helping. Like,
yeah, it fucking sucks, bro. All we have is bread and circuses, and they keep making the loaves more expensive.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, what about that lettuce? Am I right? Anyway, that fucking killer lettuce shit.
Can't have lettuce, can't have eggs, can't have anyway.
Yeah. So I'd encourage anyone that either has an Instagram or a TikTok, and I know what you're thinking. I need you to get over it for 30 seconds, but maybe don't have an Instagram and have a TikTok. But even then, just hear me out. Chef Mo. This guy, I think he's like a New York chef, and he's been in the industry for a long time. And one of his things right now is that he's been making meals for $5 or less, and which, by the way, I got to preface this is $5 USD. and he's like, hey, we can take 3 ingredients and make something really good. And a lot of it is usually like, yeah, it's like, get your pastas and your rice. And he's like, then get all this other stuff, because it's better to get a meal in you regardless of like the actual specific contents of like the prepackaged stuff. But if you got $5 to get like 2 or 3 meals out of it, that's the way you're going to stretch out your dollar. And you also get to learn a few different things from him about like how to emulsify your sauces or you know, certain chemical reactions that are occurring with the foods that you're putting on the pan and all this other shit. So Chef Mo, man, that guy is super great. A lot of the stuff that he even cooks looks really good, even if it's on a budget and it's prepackaged mixed with like, you're like, damn, I got this onion for still too much damn money because it's an onion. But you make the most of it. So tied into that, because of all the TikTok shit that like I see all the time, I'm like, you get a lot of meal ideas. There's this, I need to figure out the guy's name because I can never remember it. But there's this Indian guy in England who's always cooking like traditional Indian stuff, but he's finding ways to just like shortcut a lot of the prep. There's a lot of prep. My God, like hours of like, yeah, we're going to blend this and then we're going to cook this down. I'm like, no. He's like, no, we got 30 minutes, man. We don't have time for that, man. So you learn a lot from him. But there's this lady, I think maybe I sent the video to our group chat, but there's this lady who like cooks the most banging looking things and then goes over to her husband and like makes him eat it without any context. But then he's like, you know, freaks the fuck out on whatever he's sitting on and then devours the food very quickly and loudly. And you're like, God damn, what is this guy eating? So I took inspiration. I made cheesy jalapeno chicken spring rolls, which were a fucking hit. And we devoured, between me and Jack, we devoured all of them. So it's pretty easy to do if you know what you're doing, you know?
Well, that's pretty cool. Love how you can just be like watching this to get an idea of what they're cooking there and actually like pick up techniques that you can carry with you to other meals. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, like if you and this is something that Andy and Zach go over in the Let 'Em Cook episode or on You Know What's Cool, is like you do hit those levels of like your basic understanding of how to do things in the kitchen like improves, so it gives you room to just kind of, you're like, all right, let's reverse engineer if they're not giving me the ingredients, like so yeah, I've been cooking a lot. It's been great. It's been super fun. I will talk about more about it in the future, I'm absolutely certain. And you'll be like, wow, this guy needs this. Can you ship it to me? And the answer is no, I cannot.
I'm just going to have to visit Canada if you want that good.
What else have you been up to?
I'm still reading the Way of Kings. Not much like progress to report on that, because hey, I've been playing a lot of Arena Standard. Yeah. Similarly on Final Fantasy VI, we're like creeping on towards the end of the game, but I've played not a whole lot of that particular video game pretty recently, like in the past couple of weeks. One thing that I did do, because like how sometimes you just want like comfort food in the form of a video game. Yeah, so I spent like half the weekend playing Pokemon Emerald intermittently, like in between chores. So we're at the first gym leader there, and I chose the fire starter.
Let's go fucking Torchic.
Not very well equipped for rock types, but we're just going to brute force it. We'll be fine.
But you see, if you level up Torchic enough, you actually have a much better chance.
How does he get like fighting type moves when he levels up?
Oh yeah, that Combuskin gets double kick.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm just like, man, these type matchups suck right now.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Shroomish, back a guy up, and Shroomish is like pieces out of Petalburg Woods.
Bro,
and you're
I have
like,
a fucking Duskogs.
Yeah, no.
The moth Pokemon. I've forgotten what it's actually.
Yeah, it's Duskogs, yeah.
Oh, okay, we did have that right. Yeah, that's the guy that I'm on. We're using fucking confusion and hoping that that gets there.
Well, that ain't gonna do it. So just do a little bit more level grinding. Get that Torchic evolved, and it'll do the work for you.
All right, yeah, sounds good. I love a special sweeper. So that's my video game corner. I'm so fucking proud of you. You modded your 3DS, and now you're like, well, I can have games all the time. I can have any game I want, and you're just like going for it now. That rules.
Yeah. So the things that I've done recently on top of the hacking is that I've physically replaced the battery.
We're getting deep in it now.
Yeah. Turns out you have to buy miniature fucking screwdrivers to get like the little tiny ass screws off your 3DS, which, whatever. Great. But then you have to get everyone points out that a lot of the battery packs for a lot of older Nintendo consoles just are not good enough. Like they're just not efficient or all these other things. So I'm pretty sure I don't know the exact life, like how much battery life you got, but I'm pretty sure it's about 4 times the base battery. And this thing's a fucking unit. This thing is huge. Like you have to get an expansion pack for the case. And because I knew that I was like, fuck it, I'm just getting rid of the old casing, we're going all in. I basically had to tear the fucking case off and then get the screws out because it was starting to strip a bit. I was like, fuck, man, tiny ass fucking stupid screws, whatever. So tore the thing off, got the screws off, slapped the battery pack in, got it all charged up, all ready to go. And then I'm pretty sure I put it down overnight to download a few games in sleep mode. And I think it barely took away 10% of the battery, give or take, after 8 or 9 hours. So this thing's pretty damn robust. It's pretty beefy. On top of that, the future plans of video games right now is after I'm done Ocarina of Time and finally finishing up this particular playthrough with Jacqueline and Baldur's Gate 3, I'm probably going to be moving on to some of the Shin Megami Tensei titles that they got on the thing there. So it's probably Devil Survivors Overclocked.
I think I did play the first couple of encounters in that game, and then the difficulty was punishing, and then I bailed.
Yes. I know Benoit would be on your case. He's like, no, but Quinn, you could be playing Peak, but you're like, I'm sorry, but these games are really fucking stupid hard.
He of all people understands that I have very little tolerance for significant degrees of friction, and this one is just entirely too much.
So I'm also, so I'm going to get, I got Persona Q2, where it's the big crossover between all the Persona kids between 3, 4, and 5. I got a bunch of the other ones. I'll play them. I'll figure out where my tolerance point is, and I listened to a bunch of people. I read people's recommendations of which ones to play, about how abrasive it's going to be, and people are like, Devil Survivors Overclocked is not the easiest one, but it is a good mix between really good story and hard gameplay. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. So then, speaking of modded 3DS and finally experiencing Ocarina of Time, I've now at least gotten through the first 3 dungeons of the quote unquote adult Link. You're
getting pretty close to the end of the game then.
Yeah, I think I'm about 14 hearts now. I think I near the last major upgrade of the golden scatula thing. I just finished the water temple, so I've had some thoughts about this game. And
okay, yeah, I'm seeing in the notes here, you just okay, so I did these dungeons and I have some thoughts.
So
please continue.
So the first, let's just get the negativity out of the way. There are sometimes I'm fighting for my fucking life against those controls. I'm like, Link, I need you to lock the fuck in. And Link has said, nah, fam, I'm not locking onto shit. And I'm like, fuck you. So, you know, I'm jerking the controller. Like, I'm trying to like lock in on something, and it's just, the game's just not working with me. And so that aside, what an absolute feat of using like limited space and memory to use a past and future version of the same world, and having things in the past affect the future, because spoiler alert, Link gets the Master Sword, gets sealed for 7 years, gets brought back, and he's like, oh shit, so much has changed, except not really. So what a great way to like use what was like very limited space on the N64 cartridge to get the most out of the freaking video game.
They were really cooking with Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, no kidding. So, you know, outside of like some minor abrasion, like, why do the magic beanstalk flowers have to fucking fly around at 50 goddamn miles an hour? And I'm like, fam, I just want to jump on this platform. Let me do it. And they're like, woo, woo. And I'm like, holy fuck, man. And then I guess, like, I was thinking about it, but like, so I don't think I really noticed it in the Forest Temple, but like, you know, it's Nintendo's first time of going full proper 3D, or sorry, yeah, it's Nintendo's first time going through proper 3D after doing Link to the Past and probably like some of the handheld Zeldas at that point, with like the Oracle series or whatever. And you can tell that they're like, how the fuck do we pad out these fucking dungeons? Let's get so many small keys. And I'm like, please, I never want to see a small key to the end of my days. And then the game's like, hand on shoulder, I got something to tell you, fam. We got 5 more small keys to fucking find in this place. I'm like, fuck you. That being said, I know I said something about the water temple, and honestly, it wasn't like that bad for this water temple.
They did significantly improve the experience for the 3DS version of it, so you are facing the like slightly smoothed over version, especially because to put your like heavy boots on, you just have the touch screen that you can push. You used to have to go into the fucking menu to make that change.
I was talking about that like the other night. I'm like, okay, time to do the water temple, and Jacqueline is hilarious because Jacqueline's like trying to compare notes with me. She's like,
she played Ocarina of Time?
She did, but she remembers Majora's Mask more. And
gotcha.
So it's like, have you met the dancing lady yet? I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? It's like, all right, might not be the right game. I don't know. We're gonna go find out. But I was like, yeah, I read that they made the boots easier to do because you could just, like you said, touch the screen, swap it out, you're good to go. Which having access to 4 different items at all times is like pretty convenient, even though it's the touch screen, whatever. You get to figure it out when you drag your thumb over to touch it. So yeah, I'm going to see what else like I can do in that game before, I just, sail on to the end and call it a day. I think.
Oh, did you get the big Goron sword?
Not yet. I do got the quest item thing, like the whole list of things you need to do to go XYZ places. So I'm going to be, I'll be doing that because I'm like, yeah, I want to do big Goron sword stuff. Also, hey, cool Shadow Link in the water temple fight, because I was like,
dude, it's so sick.
I like walk by and I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, he's right behind me, isn't he? Turn around, see the shadow by the tree. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. Come on, let's fucking go.
Isn't it so sick seeing that guy in context?
Yes, like obviously, it would be like, first of all, they should just be doing that more. In fact, Hey, Nintendo, hear a guy out. Can you just like make Shadow Link his alter ego in like the next game and be like, now it's time for the Shadow Link section, and then I don't know what you do with that. I don't fucking know, but it'd be cool edgelord shit. I don't know. Let's fucking have it.
Yeah. Hey Nintendo, can you make Twilight Princess again for me? Thanks.
Can you make Twilight Princess? But you know what to do anyway. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get. There's apparently a patch that some people have for Majora's Mask that I guess like when they got the 3DS version out, there were some things that still weren't quite working or were perfect. So they're like, there's a fan made like patch thing that helps like just tweak it just enough. I don't know if it really matters or not, but I'm gonna go check it out anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Majora's Mask was not for me, so I will not be checking that out.
You're like, dang, that's crazy. Anyway, I don't have enough time for that.
Yeah, I don't.
So yeah, that's it for me in terms of just general hobby shit right now.
All right. Hey, you trying to check some vibes?
Yeah, let's check some vibes. What do you got?
All right. Up first, I have Raph and Mikey, Troublemakers. They're, hey, do you like fucked up green cards?
No, but go on anyway.
Okay. So these guys are 5 in hybrid red green for 7/7. They got trample and haste, and whenever they attack, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So in the context of this deck that I've been playing, you would think that they would pass, but it really just like it feels like a fail. Despite coming down well after you cast the blade and them having really good combat keywords in the form of haste and trample, the Hero's Blade only gets them up to 10, which doesn't meaningfully change our commander damage clock, but it does scare the hoes. And with an Avengers level threat commander like Raph and Mikey, if you're going to scare those, you need to be able to back it up. And in bracket 3, we don't have the time to not be fucking putting you in the dirt if we're gonna do that. Like, we need double strike, or we need to get up to 11, so it's a 2-hit clock instead of 3.
Yeah, these guys are pretty spooky.
I don't know how you play that in bracket 2. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's just gonna be, people are gonna be like, alarm bells. No, we're good. Yeah, goddamn! Look at that power creep.
Yeah, it's fucked up. All right, who you got next?
So did I'm pretty sure I've mentioned good old uncommon printing of Thor Odinson with flying vigilance and double prowess. If I have,
yeah, I think we fangirled about him previously.
But but just to reiterate, yeah, this guy's fucking cracked. Why doesn't he have haste? For the same reasons of the words printed on the card. That's why we don't want him to have haste.
Yeah.
Kickstarts the damage clock. You can even cast it later for that good old +2/+2 passive anyway. I didn't put the deck list and the game story down for this current document, but it's pretty fucking scary in your like Boros pump spell typal list, a la like what's that fucking angel?
Aurelia?
No.
Oh, Feather.
Feather, yeah. Just absolute, like, I managed, I will say I got to the 1v1. They're like, I don't know, I can't get rid of him, but I think I can keep you busy. And I'm like, pump spell. They're like, never mind. I'm good. I'm like, yep, that's what I thought. So yeah, Thornton, pretty sweet.
Oh yeah. All right, up next I have Dracuseth, Maw of Flames.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. What a dragon.
What a dragon indeed, coming to you all the way from fucking Core Set 2020. Red, and 4 for a flying 7/7 that whenever it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. you can just like, I mean, you got to give it the haste yourself, but if you do, you can have that land and then board wipe some, like, one person or do a bunch of fucking damage to everyone's dome, so the flexibility rips. And I give this card a pass on the Hero's Blade vibe check. Hey, what the fuck, EQ? Raph and Mikey have the same stats and they fail, so why does Dracuseth pass? Great question. I'm so glad you asked. It's because of the way that I built it. I've got quite a few more legendary creatures, and even if the blade doesn't end up on Dracuseth herself, we have other places for it, and we've also got Embercleave and other equipment in there to make the Hero's Blade feel better in context.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot more. There's a lot more going on there, and I don't know, what is it about flying evasive bodies on top of like the attack, like the damage trigger, which is like pretty fucked up.
It's a red ass Magic the Gathering card, and I love it greatly.
I've been thinking about maybe I should. Anyway, I don't know. Just like I've been thinking about Dracuseth too, and I'm like, I need to try and find a place to slot it in.
Yeah, you should reanimate Dracuseth. I think that would be healing for you.
Yeah, wouldn't be so great for my opponents, but you know, whatever.
They'll get over it.
Yeah. Okay, so I got one last one here before we go into comments.
Yeah, the opposite of my red card. You've got a blue-white card. What's up?
Yeah. So I've been sort of looking at the Lord of the Rings set, but, you know, not fully tuned in. But Bard the Bowman, I gotta say, is probably a guy that actually appreciates that blade a lot. Going to a 4 or 5 reach blocker on curve is pretty sweet. And then later on, maybe if you're waiting for that instant speed reaction or whatever for blocks, you can draw your second card, put a +1 counter on Bard, give him lifelink until end of turn to really just deter people. So, I don't know. I'd say Bard holds the dang thing pretty damn well.
Yeah, I've been really respecting reach as of late. It's very annoying to have a large flyer and have it be like, well, here's my 1/1 with reach and death touch. What's good? And you just have to fucking look away.
Avert thine gaze. It's
a large enough reach creature with lifelink would be really annoying.
Yeah. A lot of, as usual, I think the lower rarity stuff in The Hobbit is looking pretty good. And Bard, I think,
I think that set's turning out to be pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, pass the vibe check, I'd say, and I'm gonna flip the script a bit because I'm gonna try it out this time. Go with me in this, Quinn.
All right,
we're gonna move up the DJ Space Girl intermission up to here.
Okay.
What do you got for us this week?
This week we're gonna play the track that we were gonna play the other week.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, sick.
Yeah, it's mastered sufficiently, so we can print that out and then, enjoy. I think the backstory for that is I had the piano riff in my head, and it was like right before bed, so I'm just like, fuck, dude. And then we get up, we transcribe that, we wake up the next day and add some other stuff to it to make it a song, and then print that out, and then, yeah.
All right.
Track.
Sick. Let's fucking hit it.
I'm not a human until I have to be.
All right. Thanks for that one, Quinn.
Hell yeah.
Let's go to the comment section.
All right, up first we've got Angry Murdoch, who says, fun fact, Vanguard were oversized printed cards pre-MTGO. Momir Veek, the most famous, was made for MTGO like he was Alchemy Vanguard. Also, Next Wave Rules, I knew I liked Lenny. Captain **** is my favorite. My second favorite.
Yeah,
I have no idea who that is, but
I was equally as
that.
confused, and apparently it's just this fucking asshole who has the most like generic average set of superpowers, and I'm sure Lenny is gonna be like the incorrect, but from what I've read, this guy's just like, yeah, I don't know, I kind of just like do all this bullshit. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And then Bless Me Anya here saying Quinn is spot on with Kuroki, saw it and immediately fell in love with it for pressure, laughing Jasper Flint.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's a great swap for that. That's the card where I suggested playing Burglar Rat Typal so that your opponents are forced to take the deal.
Yeah, that's sick and disgusting, and I can't believe you would ever do something like that, but I actually can't.
I think Pressure Jasper is a neat take on the like discard archetype, because if you play a bunch of like symmetrical discard cards, you still have Jasper providing you with card advantage, so you can play through your what is that guy? Necroglyph? Yeah, the one that has everybody discard. You know the one. Just like turning symmetrical effects into asymmetrical ones with the impulse draw from Jasper is sweet.
Gross.
Okay, yeah, up next we've got the lovely Medusa, who says, holy shit, Quinn is reading my 2 favorite book series. OMG, 2 cakes.
Sometimes you can just have it all. Truly.
Yeah, it's so good.
Then we got questioning Feldegraph here. Happy first comment. Again, you people really gotta be stop saying that because it's not true. Awesome track and more book recommendations, please. Really enjoy this episode, and the shout outs to other creators, both Annie Temple and Magic at the Bar, creators with a lot of talent making really enjoyable magic related media. Here's a shout out to another group of talented creators making magic related media that brings joy. The Hair's Blade Vibe Check. Hey!
Oh shit.
Thank you.
I know those gamers.
Yeah. Familiar, very familiar. I look at one of them in the mirror every day. And then what does Lobster have to say here?
Lobster says, yo, Parando Blarb is subpar. If you like big world building, dig deep, probably. Dig deep into Malazan Book of the Fallen. I mean, yeah, if we finish that book and feel an appetite for another world, we'll check that out.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not... I need to kind of figure out what I'm doing when it comes to reading right now. I still need to get through that Dungeon Diver Carl one, because it seems like everyone under the sun has that fucking book right now. I'm like, okay, I need to catch up. All right. Thank you for the comments, everyone. Let's get into creative media.
Yeah, so I've been watching Magic Every Day with Esper Quinn. Shout out to another EQ. Homegirl plays Brawl in the competitive queue on Amalia and intends to upload a video every day until she doesn't. So I've been watching those and seeing the types of matchups that she's going through. Hey, Brawl is a rough fucking format.
Oh my god. We have someone new in our IRL meetup group. He's been freshly introduced to Magic, and he's like, should I be playing Brawl in Arena? And like 3 or 4 of us like are like, no, don't do it. Don't
Don't bother.
It is truly fucking brutal out there.
Yeah, it is possible to have fun on Brawl, just like it's possible to have fun on MTGO's commander queues, but you gotta really like that shit. So approach with caution.
Yep.
Esper Quinn's cool though.
And then I got a couple ones. Well, yeah, I got a few here. So as part of the shift into Cube of maybe being like, maybe I should listen to some Cube content.
Yeah.
Lucky Paper Radio. I Tate, aka Garbage, recommended this to me, and a particular episode to kind of, I guess, help me get kickstarted was the emergent cube design by example, where they propose like you start with like a card that you really like, and then get other cards that synergize with that particular card, and then you kind of round it out with other synergistic cards with that new like group of initial cards, which we'll be talking about later when we get to my section. But yeah, what a good way to start. I guess I'll now have to start looking at the backlog and see what I can pick up from it. Although,
yay, more yummy content.
Yay. Malltown fucking killed me specifically.
Yeah.
One of his shorts was about Sagan and Mardu players. And it's like, you can't trust these people, and everything was hitting the nail on the head. And I'm like, well, fuck you. And then on top of that, because Sal sent that to me. He DM'd me, and I was like, what the fuck? And then two of my friends in the meetup were like, I was just gonna send that link, or I was gonna tag you, Cole. And I'm like, fuck you guys, this is ridiculous. Unfortunately, everything in that video is super duper true. And then
your ass.
If you want to know what people think about the Hobbit set in general, go listen to the Legendary Creature episode where the peer-reviewed Legends review is out, with the 99 / all the other cards in the set to be announced probably pretty soon, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on its way.
I reviewed, spoiler, I reviewed My Precious.
Let's fucking go.
We're gonna, obviously, I think people are severely downplaying it, and it's actually pretty sweet, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of the words on it that I like to see as a person who wants to hit you with a commander 3 times.
So yeah. I think that's it for media this week. So let's, dang it, that was still probably, yeah, whatever, who cares? Hey, let's go to the Smoking Miz mention. Lenny and I got a few things to talk about the world of Fallout and the cards that came from that set.
All right. Have fun.
Welcome to the Fallout, baby. Let's take shelter in the Smoking Miz dimension and see what the boys are talking about today.
War never changes.
Like
Wait,
Commander.
did you guys do that bit? You did that bit.
We did that bit. Oh God,
Okay.
what was it? Episode 8, I want to say, because I think the Fallout cards were coming around then, which is kind of crazy to think about that these cards came out at the beginning of 2024, and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. It just feels like they've been in my life for so long.
And I mean, you know, for some more than others, considering that game series has been around since the 90s. So,
Yeah. Before we jump into cards, I kind of wanted to talk to you about that. Because, like, what is your experience with Fallout?
well, to the disappointment of anyone who's listening, my first Fallout game was Fallout 4. I've been like wanting to try and find a way to like get into this, right? So my brother, when God, what was it? Halo 5 came out, and there was like that special edition Halo 5 Xbox One or whatever, and he got that, and then of course like Fallout 4 came out, and it was like, oh sick, like I'll start playing this, right? And then I ended up like completely taking over that game. Like he did his one run, and then I started playing it, and then I made 4 different characters and everything, and then I was like, okay, it's time to go back because of backwards compatibility and everything, and play through 3 and New Vegas. And then of course any attempt to try and like play Fallout 1 or 2 was like really difficult because I don't do like typical CRPGs where you have to like click on the map, and it felt antiquated to my feeble controller hands. So the number 1 and 2 are a little bit impenetrable to me.
Okay, yeah, they're kind of like a moment in time in a lot of ways, and then I guess you didn't go really deep with like Brotherhood of Steel tactics and shit like that.
No, those were definitely on the table.
Yeah, no, if you didn't do 2, so I started with Fallout 2, because I'm a much younger PC gamer, or older PC gamer, so at the time I was gaming a bit younger. And that was like one that my friends kind of like brought to me. Like games would sort of make their way as like waves through our friends, like as we'd pass our legally acquired CDs of these games to each other.
Yes, that you could. Hey, does anyone remember that PlayStation commercial where the guy just handed the game over to the other guy? Man, I remember those days.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was one of the ones. Also, some other stuff that, you know, maybe we'll get a secret lair for Arcanum someday, because that's another one. It would be largely impenetrable if you didn't like Fallout 2.
It's like, we're gonna get Baldur's Gate 2 specifically. We're gonna get Might and Magic 4. I don't know. I randomly had a Might and Magic game and did not know what I was doing at all. And we've come a long way since those days of playing RPGs randomly and being like, I am but a wee child. I have no idea how these games work at all.
Oh man, yeah, some really good times in Fallout 2. New Vegas though for me is peak, because I really think that got the best of all of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, but it all comes together, right? Because at least like outside of them having to do crunch on an engine that was so unstable, and yet it brought the best of Fallout's writing and game structure and the way like everything kind of intermingles with each other, between like the NCR and the Legion, and I guess, you know, like there's all these other little factions and everything kind of weaves together, and then New Vegas crashes on you and you're like, I guess I'm gonna wait until they get the remasters out for 3 in New Vegas at some point in the future. So we're gonna see how that works out.
Yeah. Dude, it kept crashing on me like at the Battle of Hoover Dam, and I was like, I had such a journey with New Vegas, because right around the time I got it, I got the flu. And like, so when I was younger, I was an idiot. And I kind of was just like thinking that like the flu was this thing that's like, it's just like a bad cold or something. No, not so much. The flu is really, really bad, people. Get your flu shot. Oh, well, maybe we'll save that for later.
We'll save that one for later, perhaps.
Yeah. But, so I was, like, way out of sorts with what was going on, and I enjoyed it a lot still, but, like, there are lots of moments of that game that I was just so out of it that I don't even, like, really remember much.
But the one thing that stood out was the tower of the Lucky 88 screaming out at you from across the wasteland.
Yeah, well, that and the fact that you got to like actually date a gay dude.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So I never made that I never actually put together that commander deck for Arcade Ganon, and maybe I should do that sometime. And I guess actually we probably could start talking about cards, and since I mentioned his ass, I can talk about him because it's kind of mid, but I think kind of actually really good.
It's all the companions, I'll say, for any of the ones that we've managed to add here, tend to fluctuate wildly. There's obviously some really good ones, but like Arcade, I've always like read as like, he's like okay, you know.
Yeah, I brewed together. Actually, I tried to brew him CEDH, because he kind of rips with like Lion's Eye Diamond. But 2/3 for 2 and a white and a blue. Tap, draw a card, then discard a card. He's a human doctor, and then you put a quest counter on him. And then once during each of your turns, you may cast an artifact or human spell from your graveyard with mana value less than or equal to the number of quest counters on Arcade Ganon. So the thought process was like him, Teshar, and Emery, Lurker of the Loch, could be a thruple or a polycule.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But like just in general, like there's a lot of good like cheap humans that are like the benevolent bodyguard that's like sack, give something protection. And so like just once per turn, I'm gonna cast like this crappy human. I'm gonna cast this one. Like it's kinda cool, and you could also be like onto Ashes of the Fallen and just turn all your stuff into humans, or just cast your like sacking crappy artifacts to just gain stuff. Like a pretty cool commander, but like very limited by that once during your turn cast.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you kind of got to remember that when I think about the Fallout decks, like, I think there was a lot of people that felt that maybe, like, as crazy as some of them got, the overall power level of the decks were pretty low. And I think that they were attempting to aim for, like, a low to, like, moderate complexity for new players. Like if the precons were an attempt to get into it, like, Arcade Ganon, like, he cares about quest counters, and quest counters are new for us as Magic players, but maybe the way it intersects with the other ones, it's not so complicated. But it's also like, okay, let's keep yourself in check there, buddy, with the once per turn thing, just so you're not completely overwhelmed every time that you think you can do that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's also like not the face commander of it. He's just like
no, because he was part of the science precon, I think.
Yeah, he was, because he's a science guy. But yeah, like, I don't know. I should maybe actually go and build that deck. I think I deserve that.
I think, hear me out, and I'm sure maybe Quinn, when Faye hears this in the future, because again, we do see the words artifact and human. There's a lot of there's a few humans that care about equipment in some way, shape, or form. So we can get Arcade into the armory.
Okay, all right. Or I could play like somebody in Bant, and then Arcade and Danitha could hang out together.
Oh no, Lenny, no.
But yes.
But maybe yes. I don't know.
But maybe yes, yeah.
Oh, get Pure Steel Paladin and the mighty Thor Jane Foster in there, I guess.
Oh yeah. Holy crap, yeah, they're humans. Like we got some moves.
There's some bones here. There's some bones here.
Yeah.
So let me come in from the Fallout 4 angle, and arguably perhaps the straight angle, because no characters in Fallout 4 have ever been modded harder than the female companions of that game. What does this have to do with anything? Nothing. Let's talk about Piper Rate Public Reporter.
Okay.
So Piper, she hilariously and somewhat appropriately, with the creature type human detective, because she is pretty much the only person who makes a form of newspaper in the post-apocalyptic world of Boston in 2280 something. I'm blanking on the date exactly. I actually think it was 2278. And she goes around the Commonwealth trying to find answers regarding the Institute, which is the underground shadowy organization that was based off of MIT before the bombs dropped, which then they made their own bunker and managed to survive for over 200 years. And then they just pull a Blade Runner and just start like making artificial human beings and replacing people in the Commonwealth. And then they're like, hey, what's the point of doing that? To which they say, our end goals are beyond your understanding. And you're like, you have no fucking idea why you're making artificial human beings.
We didn't write this part.
So Piper tries to figure out the truth, but the obvious issue is, one, even in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, it's a bit of a propaganda piece because she's biased. And there's just so much fear-mongering because everyone thinks their neighbor is like a synth. But she eventually finds the truth and prints it in print and sends it out into the world, and that gets her in trouble with the mayor. So But mechanically, Piper is a 2-mana 1/2 that whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you investigate that many times. In which case, to those who don't know, you get to make a clue token. And then later, the second line here, she says, whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. So there's the weird intersection of you get, you pay 2 mana, you get to draw a card, you can put a +1 counter on a target creature you control. Is that Piper? Who knows? But sometimes you can suit her up and send her out as a commander or put her in the 99 somewhere. And it's kind of like not the most impactful effect. Like sometimes you don't want to be paying 2 mana to draw a card off a clue token. Sometimes you don't think just putting a +1 counter on something is good enough. We want more explosive, splashy effects.
Nice. Yeah, I know you played this one for like quite a bit.
Yeah, a couple of years or something, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of like that she come down early. It's not like super crazy, but you can also make like a ton of treasures. She's like or clues. She's like a less scary version of Inquisitor Eisenhorn.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I've gone on, I haven't talked about it in a while, but I've had that Eisenhorn deck with Piper in the 99 for the exact reasons that you think they would, and I made a post about it recently on Blue Sky where that clause of whenever you sacrifice a clue, that is so open-ended, and that's the part where it can get really scary if you have the support to like mass sack clue tokens to pay for something else.
Cough, cough, KCI, cough, cough.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh, well, there's KCI, and let's just go off with that. And everyone's like, oh, no, wait.
Okay, we broke KCI on smoking mids here.
All right.
History has been made.
We're going too far. Otherwise, I just think like Piper can be a linchpin, and she probably fits in a lot of places that you probably wouldn't realize. Like, hey, you never knew you needed a detective typal deck. This is where you'll find the pieces,
Yeah.
But other than that, like, outside of being Universes Beyond, I just think people don't really look at this type of compounded effect on one card very often. It makes me a little disappointed.
It's so hard because there are so many legends like in the Fallout set because it's a Universes Beyond set and that's just how they have to roll.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not something that the other commander decks usually have to deal with because they're not doing that part. So it's like they bury a ton of like cool and interesting commanders in like the 99, but it's like that gravity that is the black hole of being a face commander that sort of makes that all these cards orbit around that instead of like becoming their own like thing. Also, like side note, was I supposed to drop lore about Arcade Ganon because he does have some pretty cool lore?
I mean, I don't know. This is how we're making smoking mids as long as it is. But we could go over that if we're trying to, at least if we're talking about the named creatures or the named characters here, we can probably skimp over the lore a little bit.
You know what? Yeah, I could. I mean, he's part of a humanitarian organization if we want to wind that back, but then there's like a cool spoiler of what he is also part of.
A descendant of, yeah.
Yeah, a descendant of, which if you date him, you can get in on that action, which is pretty sweet, and that's very helpful later on. And we'll leave it at that.
Open up emotionally, man. You don't need to be so drawn away from me. And he's like, no, I'm good. Ha ha ha. You're like, okay, all right. I know you.
All right.
Fine, then keep your secrets.
Okay, I got to talk about this card because this is debatably mid, and I think you're probably going to get my ass when I talk about this card.
Well, all right, lay it on me, Lenny.
Strong back.
Well, I do remember that this card was talked about a few times, and let me just think about this. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty good. I mean, how good can an aura possibly be?
I don't know, when it reduces the equip cost by 3, or that it reduces enchantments by 3, or that it also gives +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to that creature, including when Strongback is on it. I think I can, we are in the world of Selesnya and Bant auras .deck. and there's a lot of enchantresses, and when you're able to not only shortcut a lot of them by cutting them down by 3 mana, but you're also probably drawing 1 or 2, 3 cards off of it when you cast it. It's a little bit strong, Lenny. It's a little bit strong.
It's a little bit strong, but I do think it is reasonably limited by the fact that all of that is putting your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Strong back isn't giving you like carte blanche to throw things anywhere. It's just everything has to be on your person with the strong back.
Mm-hmm.
I also love this card flavor-wise because that's like one of the perks in the game where it like doubles your carrying capacity, which is honestly one of the most useful perks to have. And,
especially if you're a trash goblin.
Yeah, and why would you not be if you're playing Fallout? I mean, although usually, like, when I'm playing the game, I'm not, like, a shooty guy. I'm usually, like, a punchy or melee guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually my strength is pretty through the roof, so it's, like, a long time before I become so much of a trash goblin that I need to start taking strong back.
The one thing I found, you know, I guess it's the other thing, too. It's, like, you could almost intersperse this into the the game section of when Quinn and I are talking in the regular podcast, but it is so interesting when it comes to game mechanics. Like, not one thing I really got to give credit to the people who were designing the Fallout set here to apply as many of the mechanics as they could cram in. Having perk auras was like the coolest thing. That I thought was super, like, it's just great to see. Having all the legendary creatures getting rep was also fantastic, and rad counters are also some of the coolest stuff that we hopefully will see outside of Fallout, if like out of a Fallout set, if they bring it back in some way.
I mean, like, I don't know where you bring that back. Maybe like we do Edge of Eternities and like we go to some like blasted radiation planet. I mean, granted, there's like a ton of radiation like just out there if you're like in space. So
I mean, not only that, but like I think they said that like if you damage like a power stone or something, it could theoretically explode or something. And I don't know. I just want them to bring back rad counters because rad counters are obviously pretty rad.
And I want them to go back to Edge of Eternities. So, like,
well,
maybe,
so all right,
like, Wizards,
hand in hand,
if you're listening,
we can make it happen. I believe in you, WotC designers.
Thank you. But anyway, yeah, Strongback is pretty good. Put it in your like aura or equipment decks if you got green. It has done the Lord's work for me in Celestia Danitha, where it continues to be cast, and then it's super sick because you're casting that stuff from your graveyard anyway. So
yeah, true enough.
All right, what you got?
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and talk about the filter land cycle that was actually first printed here in the precons.
Okay, I thought about this. I thought very long and hard about this, so I'm so glad you're doing this.
Yes. So Desolate Mire, Ferris Lake, Overflowing Basin, Sunscorched Divide, and Viridescent Bog. They all have the pay 1 tap add 2 mana of the colors of that land is going to make. Not only, and then of course on top of it, they're all like cool locations like throughout the games. Ferris Lake is a site in, I'm pretty sure it's in Fallout 4. There's a water treatment place that you have to go to and empty of super mutants and Mirelurks and then get it back up and running. Sunscorched Divide is the location of one of the DLCs in Fallout New Vegas. Viridescent Bog goes back to Fallout 1 when the Master was dipping humans in FEV and so on and so on and so on. I think that in the increasing prices of a lot of mana bases over time, as we get like really good flashy sometimes like dual typed lands coming out in precons and sets now, if you're still looking for ways to like round out your collection and you're still building like a budget deck or a budget 2 or 3 mana or a 3 color mana base, like the filter lands being completed now and being reprinted quite a few times in the last few sets, like these are the lands. Yes, these are the signet lands of the world, but I'd still slot them in a lot of decks personally.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been in conversations with like in like CEDH games where they say they're bad, but also like when you're in CEDH, you can like win off of one land, which these
Yeah.
can't help you with. But
Yeah,
that,
okay. Yeah, and that
yeah, but
and
like that's
yeah,
not what we're up to here.
Yes, welcome to Smoking Mids, where we talk about
Yeah.
CDH, like nah, like
Hey,
if listen, I mean, look,
I have to know. How else will I know what's mid?
Well, that's true. If you want to come down, if you CDH players want to come back down to planet Earth, these are the lands that you want to be playing.
Don't put them in your CEDH decks, but put them in your like. If you want to smoke some mids, these are perfectly fine lands because you're not
play the
keeping that
temples,
one land hand.
Play the temples, play these. Just do whatever you can to just slow yourself down just a little bit.
Yeah. Like I run these in like just about all my casual like 2-color decks that would want them because they are just fine. And honestly, like half the time they tap for mana anyways because somebody's gonna play Urborg or Yavimaya.
The other thing I want to point out, and I'll use a definitively not mid commander, Megatron Tyrant is an example of like what. Hey, this creature or this effect generates me a source of mana that I need to filter into something. This is the way for you to kind of have additional payoffs. You're like, I'm only making colorless mana. I need to convert that mana into colored mana. These are the lands.
Oh, word. You could use your power stones for this.
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I mean, they just went up in my estimation. Good pick.
And now I've converted another believer. My job here
I mean, I was already a believer, but now I'm like, but them power stones.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about a card that I just found when I had to look for this when we decided to do it today.
Okay.
Contaminated Drink.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, X, blue-blacks, instant, draw X cards, then you get half X rad counters rounded up. And I feel like I talk about Reanimator decks, like, every single time, but, like,
there's probably a reason for it, I'm
not, like, the biggest Reanimator player, but they have a lot of cool tools that they continue to get, and I really like this draw X spell, and then like you set yourself up with a little bit of a mill engine, which is something you're interested in anyway. I would love this for currently I'm graveyarding with Winter, so like I can't use this kind of card, but this would be exactly the kind of thing I'm into with that. And then also like you can lose a few life, mill a few cards, and be fine with it if you just need yet another X draw spell.
And you got to remember,
for some reason, all the ones don't work for you.
And you got to remember that radiation isn't always going to be dealing you damage, but you aren't always going to be losing it either. So you may slowly lose like your automatic mill engine over time, depending on how large the number gets. But yeah, to those graveyard and mill and surveil players out there, play around with, like, if you're the one playing around with rad counters and have a way to give it to everyone, not everyone is built around dealing with that, and it can really, like, fuck up some people as they watch their decks slowly disappear, as well as their life total.
Yeah. All right, what you got for me, Quo?
So there's, I mean, look, there's 25 cards on my list, but
we're not doing 25 cards.
Time's a ticking. So
unless
let's talk about Fallout New Vegas again. Boomer Scrapper is my pick for this one. This is a card that has popped up for me a few times when I've been making some Rakdos or Jund like equipment decks recently. And how does that intersect? Well, when one of them was Imskir Iron Eater, like this guy was a freaking house, just to get that artifact count up. So Boomer Scrapper, 1 black and a red for a human soldier. That's a 1/1. Whenever Boomer Scrapper enters the battlefield or attacks, you lose life and create a junk token. Junk tokens, another great thing from this set. It's an artifact with tap. Sack this artifact, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn, activate only as a sorcery. So it's another way for you in like your kind of red whatever decks to have an artifact and impulse draw. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1 counter on Boomer Scrapper. So that is any token. Creature token, clue token, treasures, junk, etc.
So what I'm into about this is like if you like look at it, if you squint hard enough, this is sort of like a draw a card, lose a life, make a 2/2, just like at base level for
At
3
bait.
mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't hate that because he's got Titan text.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about it. And I had this in Imskir, and I'm pretty sure I got this in Brea, Ethereum Shaper, and my what's that hasty lizard from New Capenna that's Jund?
Ognis.
Yeah, Ognis. You can pop the treasure tokens on top of it and just keep this thing slowly schmoving, getting you incremental value.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, but like I want to go back to Rakdos artifact tokens because I had a deck and I took it apart, and then every now and then I'll see something like this, and I'll like, look out there
urge.
wistfully in the rain.
All right. What do you got for me?
All right. Gosh, I'm torn between talking about you know what? I am going to talk about, since you talked about a junk token, I'm going to talk about a food token.
All right.
I am going to talk about a legendary creature who I have been put in the dirt by.
Oh, okay.
Sierra, Nuka's biggest fan. So
okay.
She is a 3 and a white for legendary creature, human citizen. 3/4. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on Sierra, Nuka's biggest fan, and make a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, target creature you control gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of quest counters on Sierra. So if she goes, like, this whole thing goes. But like, I have seen our buddy Draco Lucian run this as a commander, and like, if you have a deck that's interested in making food and evasive creatures, like looking at you, Frodo and Sam, and you can just hit, that's like, you can get 3 quest counters a turn, assuming you're not a psycho that plays 5 or more player games. And then, yeah, she's got 3, you've got 3 foods, you sack your foods to whatever, and then just like, if we look at it at the very baseline of, let's say you hit 3 players on one turn, and then you have food to sacrifice, you could sacrifice like 2 food or 3 food, she'll have 3 quest counters. You can put a total of 9 power onto the board with that.
Yeah. That's pretty good. It's pretty
good.
Hard to beat.
But she's super vulnerable to the removal, so I guess that's why we can name her mid. But like, yeah, if you're cooking some food, check her out, because dang, man, she puts the hurt.
I know I'm like, I gotta mention this, but you first meet her in Fallout 3, and then she shows up in the Nuka World DLC in Fallout 4, and I'm sure for some people who played through and had that continuity, there's that level of like, oh god, not her again, because she is just an absolute fiend.
I liked her quest line, but yeah, no, I get it.
Okay. Maybe I'll do one more, and you do one more, and then maybe we'll call it there.
Well, technically, I started, so you can do one more.
Okay. This, geez, so tough, so difficult, so many choices, but let's go with Ball Cat Blast.
Ooh, okay, yes.
Now, there are so many things. This card reads so damn well, and sometimes I feel like I'm a crazy person because I feel like either it should be played more or maybe it's not being played enough. I don't know, but let me read it out to people and let me see what you think. So it's an instant red card that's 4 and a red with Improvise, where you can have your artifacts pay for the mana to pay for all the generic. And then it deals 5 damage to any target if excess damage was dealt this way to a permanent this way. So planeswalkers, battles, creatures, so on. create that many tapped treasure tokens. Getting it one down to 1 mana and dealing like 5 damage to someone's like 1 or 2 toughness thing feels pretty good. The treasures are tapped, so you know this card isn't like super duper pushed. You can't like immediately weaponize it right away. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things going on with this card that reads really well, but people might find it hard to justify adding it to places.
So, honestly, I was kind of looking at this and saying, well, it's like an uncommon. Not like any of that matters in. Oh wait, is it an uncommon? I can't. Yeah, uncommon.
It reads, yeah.
Yeah, not that matters, like, in the context of a commander deck, because it's, like, such a weird thing that they do. But, like, could you imagine this in, like, a limited format?
Oh, it'd be fucking insane.
Yeah. This would be banned.
Like, if this was, if at that rarity, like, in some draftable format, like, you're like, oh, look at my 5 copies of Bottle Cap Blast, and your opponent, like, has no creatures. At that point, you just start aiming the damage to face, and they lose.
Yeah. I'm really into this in, like, if you've got, like, a red burn deck that's, like, interested in, like, doing doubling damage and stuff, that like Soulfim or something, and then you're just like, then this is kind of a ramp spell. And I like that it's any target, not just because you can hit your opponents, but you can hit like your own creature if nobody else is serving 1 toughness. And you're in red, something will have 1 toughness for you.
Yeah, someone will slip up and think they're safe, and then you're like, aha, Bottle Cap Blast be upon ye, and then they're just like, I needed that 1/1.
Yeah, I'm kind of into this. I'm actually thinking I might have a home for this card in of all things Scarlet Witch.
I don't know. I could see that happen. I could see that working.
Yeah, because I'm on one of the season cards that makes tap treasures as well, and it also does the exiling cards. And I'm thinking if I don't really need that, then this would be pretty cool as like a ritual to set up like the next turn or something.
I mean, the one
because people.
I just had the thought of just like, you know, if you are in a treasure heavy deck, like improvise is the one way for you to save them for a future use, even if you don't get to use them that turn. By using them for the improvise, casting your spell, and then the next turn having that payoff.
Yeah. And then let's also not forget all of Red's stuff that's like wants to see artifacts enter.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, you're in red. Everyone knows like Weftstalker Ardent and Reckless Fireweaver and all those adjacent things. So like this is a way for you to get that extra little bit of damage out and the extra bit of treasures out of it.
Okay. I have another question for you, Cole. So I'm thinking, what about Sabin? Because I run a lot of equipment in that. And I know this is specific. Nobody else will care about this, but you're going to listen to me talk about my deck. Because I could improvise, and I'm going to sack Sabin anyway. So, like, what if I 5 damage and use this to make, like, 2 additional treasures? Maybe that doesn't seem so hot if it's only 2.
I don't know. The only thing I can say is maybe slot it in, see if you can find it and test it out for a few games, and then get back to me on that one.
All right. I'll get back to you in 2 weeks.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Well, I think that's enough. I was kind of surprised by how many interesting and cool cards like show up in Fallout that I just don't see anybody do. It feels like when they do one of these universes beyond like all 4 commander deck situation, a lot of the stuff gets locked in the commander decks, except for those face commanders, specifically except for the Wise Mothman.
Oh God! Don't even get me started on that.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I got Caesar on the shelf as the precon that like I was pretty adamant about not touching it. There's a lot of reprints in the set that I think probably obscures the set for a lot of people who are, you know, like I said, the power level of the set was really low, so probably a lot of things weren't the focus on it. If you play the Jeskai energy deck and you like that's very dependent and functional only with the energy. So if anything is outside of the scope of that, maybe you're not paying attention to it, or you just don't even look at those cards at all. Like anything, and especially right now as so many sets are coming out and maybe people are feeling a bit of fatigue in that sense, it's a good time to go back and take a look at sets like the Fallout precons and see if there's anything that floats your boat in there, because not only is there other people that have already done the work for you in terms of like what's cool and what isn't cool, but you also get to see like where people have been playing these cards and maybe see if there's some way that links back to you and the decks that you've been playing.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Now, what's
All
the
right,
wisdom?
so
The wisdom.
The
What do you got for
wisdom,
us?
because we hinted at it, and I had forgot that I needed to do wisdom because I didn't do it last time that we got together.
No,
Um,
but I think we
yeah.
can make up for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is going to be. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I'm talking about it now because not this month, but like in the next couple of months, like various healthcare providers are going to start offering their flu shots. And kind of just speaking back to my experience with getting the flu, while I had just bought Fallout New Vegas, I wasn't really able to fully enjoy the game while I was struggling with the flu. It's a
Mhm.
lot worse than you think it's going to be. And so I recommend getting your flu shot. And with the understanding that, hey, like, they are doing the best that they can to figure out which strains are going to be problematic. So it's not always the right one, but we have a lot of smart people working on it and they're doing their best. And you got to understand that's the case. But absolutely, like, that is something to look into doing, protecting the members of our population that can't get that are very vulnerable to something like that. And honestly, like, you can extend that to all the vaccines.
Yeah, I mean, we
yeah.
are in a post-COVID world. I think it probably goes without saying that a lot of the people who may have gotten involved in Magic content creation probably started around the 2020 2021 period. It's allowed a lot of us to get in touch with other people when stuff like Spell Table and now Convoke and Gerudo to be like available for people. The fatality rate of flu is not 0%.
Nope.
And it does not take much for some people to get like an entire office sick or an entire household sick just because one person's got it, right? If you give yourself and others a fighting chance to either not get it or have it kind of pass you by without giving you too much trouble, I'd say take the opportunity. And if you do get it, hey, you know what to do. Rest up, drink your water, take care of yourself, call in sick, do whatever you need to do to make sure, yourself and everyone around you is healthy, or as healthy as you can be.
Hell yeah. The science for this is overwhelming, folks. Yeah, I mean, I guess leave it at that. Get vaccinated. So keep an eye out on that as that's coming, not this month, but eventually we're going to start rolling out the next thing of flu vaccinations.
Hey,
Anyway,
I'll be getting my jabs, let me tell you that.
I will as well, but my job also requires that I do that unless I have to mask. And honestly, after my New Vegas experience, we do not mess around with that. I want to be there for every video game.
To the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
And
All right.
and also for Magic, while we're at it.
Oh yeah, also for Magic, yeah. That's an important thing, I guess.
All right, well, till next time, everyone.
Later.
All right, we managed not to fuck up the episode. We got some words of wisdom, and
I'm applauding you. Well done. Way to be quick and efficient.
Even Lenny being like, I fucked up. I didn't do it last time. I'm like, all right, and then we got to redeem ourselves. Here we go. All right. So, Brews off the shelf. Where do we want to start?
Yeah, let's get into it. I think that we can start with the thing that I talked about in the vibe check section, with gruel problems.
That is one way to describe it.
That's what it is the thing. It's a pile of gruel problems. So the thesis for this Raph and Mikey bracket 3 Cruel Dragons deck is I saw someone on MTGO playing 1 mana value mana dorks in their version of this deck, and it made me mad because they were diluting their banger ratio.
They're like, but what if you ramp into Ralph and Mikey really quickly, and then it's like, okay, and then what, you get another fucking mana dork? Come on, you dweeb.
You can ramp as quick as you want. You just need to not be doing it on creatures. And that's why I have the checks notes in the 23 sorceries. So many of these are ramp spells.
Oh my god.
I'm on just a ridiculous number of fucking
You're like,
ramp
they don't
spells.
have to, green mages don't have to justify their cultivate, so guess fucking what?
I'm on Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, fucking Ranger's Path. Fuck you, I'm playing all of the ramp spells.
Yeah, I'm like,
getting Raph and Mikey out of
vast
bed
wood
schedule.
surge, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I'll put some fucking counters on that. You think I'm too good for it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, there's some, there are some ramp spells that do more than just ramp, but for the sake of it, also just ramp is pretty good.
Yeah, so we are on just a pornographic quantity of ramp spells. The construction section is so fucking short here. It's just ramp, dragons, and green power draw.
Yep. Good old fucking Soul's Majesty right there.
That's all you need. Yeah, I got the fucking Season of Gathering. I'm on Spry and Mighty, who is maybe not as effective in this list as it could be, but it's still like I'm gonna draw some cards and it's going to be satisfactory.
I mean,
'Cause we're
okay.
also going to buff people.
To your credit, yes, you got some of the most scariest goddamn motherfuckers on this list. Also, Old Gnawbone, who the fuck are you? What is going on here?
Dude, I fucking hate this card, but I'm playing on MTGO. I have to sweat with the sweat lords, bro. I do not.
Quinn, good old samurai pilled Empress Quinn over here being like, I must give up my ways and my honor and become a Ronin and become ungovernable and play fucking Old Gnawbone, play my op reanimated as fucking Smaug and all this other shit. What's fucking next, Quinn? God damn it, what's next?
I mean, I already did the Simic bullshit arc with the Coma Commander damage.
Oh, true.
deck.
Yeah, you did do that. But we don't talk.
like,
We
what if
don't
the
talk
deck
about
was-
it. We talk about it, but we don't.
I'll still play that deck. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. But that being said, about the Spry and Mighty is that, like, even on average, when you're looking at I don't know what it's average, like 5 power, maybe 4 or 5 power among the things that you're putting out. So it's not like you're not
I've got
getting
low power dragons like Twin Flame Tyrant, and then high power dragons like Summon Bahamut. So we've got some like potential for difference there. Fuck, even my ancient Adamantoise is 8 power. What the fuck?
but like, Quinn, you haven't seen it yet in Final Fantasy 15 because you don't got your hands on it yet. But that thing is literally the size of a fucking mountain.
That's bananas. I do actually have 15 in the library. It's just a matter of finishing 6, and then we can get to the last one in my project.
Shit, here we fucking go.
We're gonna get there.
It's definitely smoking mid's tier game, but it's also got a lot of heart in it, and I kind of dig it. But that I'll wait.
I love a 7 out of 10. I'll eat that up.
Fucking actually, it's 7 out of 15. Anyway, yeah, boo, get off the stage.
That's not even accurate. It's fucking 15 out of 16.
Whatever. Anyway, so what were some noticeable results that you got out of this deck?
Hey, so dragons are good, more at 11. Also, free spells are good, more at 11.
Oh shit,
And
you don't
that's just-
say.
That's what this deck is. I ramp, I cast Raph and Mikey, we put an Avengers level threat onto the battlefield, and we just do that every turn until we get interacted with. I had one game where somebody did land a large flying lifelinker, and so I couldn't attack them, but I had a Scourge of Valkis on the battlefield, and then we hard cast the Lathlas that we had in our hand, so we're just like, here's Lathlas, we'll make a dragon token, here's my next dragon, we'll make a dragon token.
Oh my
and
God.
we're just fucking pinging the person with the lifelink down with Scourge of Valkis. I'm like burning everybody down. I'm swinging. I've got like an Udvara Hellkite or some shit. We're making more dragons on attacks. We're triggering Scourge of Valkis. We're pinging opponents down. And we were so close. We had like single-digit life totals on their screens, and I had like 30 something because nobody's trying to swing into my fucking dragons.
Yeah, they're like, I would prefer my board state to live, if anything.
And then we ended up getting wrathed. And it was a wrath with like flashback. I forget what exactly the one is, but we made the decision at that point to like, okay, I need to kill you before you get the fucking flashback off. So we do that, we get them. And then the other person left who I thought I had a better chance against actually ended up being a Bant deck with a lot of removal spells. So I'm like fighting through all of these, but bro, it's just like I ramped, I cast Raph and Mikey, I find a free threat,
I
hit them with it.
I throw pipes and do lariats, and that's when you
I
fucking...
spin lariat, I throw pipe, I will kill you with commander damage.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just did all of that until they were dead. Easy peasy.
I wasn't... just kind of unrelated, because I definitely had this moment of just like stupid levels of resiliency in a deck. I maybe I'll post the link, and it's not really part of this, but like I played good old Final Fantasy 16 Het Slop on the weekend.
Nice.
And you hit Sunbird's Invocation, and that card is just not fucking okay. But you're like,
it's not.
One of the things. What are some of the things that we're doing in this deck? We get Go-Go Mysterious Mime out alongside Subterfuge to just get the early beats and the early draw, and then I cast Rapturous Moment into fuck, I can't even remember. It was fucking nonsense, because then you add the mana and you're like, oh, what else am I gonna fucking cast? And you're like, oh, I don't know.
It's so fucked up when you cast Rapturous Moment and then you cast a draw spell, or you copy your Rapturous Moment and you're just like, here's more mana and more cards.
Yeah, and then
unbelievable.
I fucking I went from Rapturous Moment, and I can't tell you what spell I hit, but it was just like, this is not okay, and this shouldn't keep continuing. And I think I literally, maybe I did Rapturous Moment into Inferno Titan. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. But then I used the mana to cast Mystic Confluence, which then flipped into Soul Immolation, and I was like, wow, we were just fucking gaming right now. And everyone's like, well, not much we could do about that. And they tried, taking down the pivotal things that were just really fucking them up, because I did have Go-Go out with Inferno Titan, and they were like, absolutely the fuck not. We can't let this guy...
you just don't get to have creatures.
But yeah, there is that point in some games in these types of decks, whether it's like the commander that enables it or the 99 is carrying the strategy, but you do reach that sort of like really hard to interact with snowball that if not everyone is up to fucking speed to deal with you, you just absolutely annihilate them with value.
Yeah, they keep printing fucked up Magic the Gathering cards, and Gamers Online are going to throw them at me, so I'm going to throw them at Gamers Online.
So Gruul, Turtle, Dragons are the future. We're now back at Turtle Dragon style, except it's not actually the Turtle Dragon. It's fucking Ralph and Mikey fucking dragons from throughout the multiverse.
Yeah, basically. This is like the one deck that I have where Ran Shaw has a chance of actually making the copy, because I can play that after a board wipe, and
yes.
I have enough dragons in my graveyard to make the copy.
Much to think about. That is a card that actually does quite a bit of work in here.
I really like that. I think it pairs really well with Lapis, who also has the like dragon's fire breathing ability. You can either activate theirs or dump the mana into Lapis if you only have the one random Shaw. There's a lot of like those two play together nicely. And then the fucking Twin Flame Tyrant, bro. Why did they do that?
Well, they were like, well, red gets double effects. And everyone's like, please, but I have family. And they're like, nah, fucking die.
Fucking Balefire Dragon, bro. Why did they do that? I had another game where I had Raph and Mikey out like pretty early, I think on like turn 5 as opposed to the 7 where they naturally come down. And we just like, there's another board state across the way that's getting out of hand. We're gonna die to fucking Shroofus Sproutsire if we don't do something.
Oh no, not
we
fucking
rip the
Shroofus.
Balefire Dragon off the top. We hit them for 6 and pour lava all over their board state. Fuck off.
Oh, that's too fucking good. Oh man. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's just fucked
This
up.
is not a deck that you can play for like chill games. You gotta, if people are sweating, then it's appropriate.
Awesome.
Great. What you got for me?
So it's been a while. We can't do that bit, but anyway, so I haven't talked about Audric in a while, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of changes, but I figured why not bring it up anyway, because it's been a while and I have managed to get a few games in with it recently. Because I've been focused on like Garna and all this other stuff. So it's like, it's time to get to sit down and get at least a few games in a row. And I can't think of anything specific off the top of my head for the last few games that I had with it, but I'd say that like Audric in general does a pretty good job, and everyone's as usual is like, God damn it, we can't let this guy fucking get away with it. But on top of that, I've been in the lab a bit thinking about, all right, it's post Secrets of Strixhaven and it's post Marvel Superheroes, and now we're in The Hobbit, and it's like, okay, what can I put in from The Hobbit? And the answer is, fuck, I don't know, nothing right now, because the threshold, like the cutting cards threshold is so fucking ridiculously high right now.
Yeah, cards got to be really good to have a spot in here at this point.
And you know, I was looking around and I'm like, I don't know, fucking Bofur Reliable Guardian maybe was like this really like conditional huge asterisk, because it's like, okay, I need cards to do more than one thing. You know, Light and I constantly talk about it as we go further with our Indominus Rex and Bloodrick lists here. And, you know, also we got super duper Surge Foil bling printing alt art of Bofur. So it's like, okay, I gotta put that under consideration at least. So baseline, we're talking about a 1-mana 1/1 with lifelink. And it's like, okay, but then there's the target artifact or creature you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn for the adventure. So it's like, okay, we have the potential angle of like incorporating that in the 99 and have him do something on both sides, right? But it's just, like, damn, but what do I cut for that? Like, it's again, it's getting pretty rough. And I put back, there's a few cards I put back in recently, and it kind of goes against that because as I look back at cards that I've taken out and I think about the context of Commander in general and the things that I want to be doing, I remembered Senu, Keen-Eyed Protector, which is a card that reads really fucking well. It reads really cool. We got 2 keywords, so that's great. Tap, exile Senu to gain 2 life and scry 2, which is like this kind of like pseudo card selection thing. And then the last ability of whenever a legendary creature you control attacks and isn't blocked, if Senu is exiled, you put it on the battlefield attacking. It doesn't care how Senu was exiled, as long as I'm pretty sure it's exiled face up. Asterisk, don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I got a non-zero level of like legendary creatures in the deck, and so it's like, okay, But then I remembered that I also took out Path to Exile, which you could path your own Senu. and then be like, let's just bring that bird back to start swinging out with everyone.
Well, yes, I do think I'll take a little bit of ramp.
So, it's like, okay, now I gotta cut cards for fucking Senu in this again, and I sent the snip to the thing here, but enter the avatar state, which I have used a few times in the deck to, like, I would say, like, pretty good effect. It's like an interaction spell that either protects the things that you need in the moment, or gives you the correct amount of keywords that you need for Audric to come out and make a non-substantial amount of blood tokens, which allows you to do a bunch of other fucking nonsense that everyone's like, oh god, he's doing it again. I think I like the changes that I made so far. I haven't seen the Lightstall Inquisitor that we were talking about probably a month ago now or something.
Well, I'm still tapping my watch for her to show up.
Yeah. However, that being said, I did have Hawkeye finally showing up to a game, and that card is doing exactly what I want him to be doing. Fucking doing lariats and throwing pipes, aka arrows, and maybe not commander damage, but making sure something can't block and dealing 2 damage to a player on the attack. And you can tap them for any combination of things or reasons these days. So yeah, he showed up, did some stuff. I'm interested in hoping to see more of him and Black Widow and the Lightstall Inquisitor, among a bunch of other things. But yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I did get the Bling Secret Layer version of Emeria the Skyruin.
Ooh.
I traded a bunch of cards in and was like, it's time for me to fully commit to the bid of having Emeria in here. Haven't gotten to the blessed 7 planes count yet, but we have added more and more ways to get that started. Also, shout out to whoever reminded me to put in Turbulent Step, but I did that.
Oh, was that the cinnamon roll land?
The one that checks for 8 or more lands amongst opponents.
Yeah.
That thing does a lot of work, or it's adding to the total. And I don't know. I am once again still continuing loving this deck and tweaking it endlessly. And you know what? I just forgot about mentioning untapped libraries, but Light's episode of Indominus Rex. I'm doing it again. I'm like, whatever. There's some anonymous with each other at this point. Who cares? I know that my episode is supposed to be coming out at some point in the near future, and it's just essentially me going over this deck a little more thoroughly than what I've done in like a single sitting.
Hell yeah.
Whenever that comes out, I don't know. We'll fucking see, but I'm hoping it's very soon so I can gush about. You can listen to me gushing about the deck, and I can tell you to go check out a podcast where I'm yapping.
A deep dive into one man's obsession.
Speaking of, we'll go over that part in a second here. Quinn, what other deck do you got for us today?
Yeah, it's Catgirl season.
Okay. Have they added the? No, I guess this. Actually, I don't know if we can talk about that yet. Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not. Hey, so Yannette, Cryptic Sovereign, good old Esper Catgirls.
Yeah,
she's number 1 in my heart. Fucking Y'shtola, god damn it.
Listen, she earned it.
No, this fucking bullshit. People are like, fine then, I'll make a Y'shtola deck. Wink to make her number 1.
Goodness.
Fucking voter fraud.
So yeah, Yannette, Cryptic Sovereign. We are back after playing the deck a while. You get enough reps in and you realize that there's like, and despite it being a cards on your desk build, there are cards in your collection.
Future Cole, edit out my joking. God goddamn fucking water. I'll be fine. Keep going.
Yeah, so after playing the deck a while, we realized that there were some cards that were like, they've revealed themselves to not be pulling their weight, and it's a cards on my desk deck, but there's still other cards on my desk that we can like find appropriate swaps to make those changes with and improve some performance. So we're like slowly tightening that list up, and it feels pretty good to like where it's at now. Some of the cuts that we made were the Magic Mirror. Despite that being a very cool Magic the Gathering card, it was not pulling its weight, as it is just like it doesn't come down until 50 bajillion years into the game, and at that point you don't have the upkeeps to make the draw that it gives you relevant. I would rather just like draw 3 cards right now and then figure out what to do from there. Another cut that we made was Docent of Perfection and the flip side final iteration.
Not my fly Blorbo.
I love this guy so much. It's literally so sick, but we just like hadn't been able to trigger it enough for it to feel good here in the deck for the like 5 fucking mana that I'm spending on it. The spells that I have here are like chonky. They're too big, so we gotta just find a different deck for that. Like the Calamax deck that I have, I can put a Docent of Perfection in that, and I might have already done that, but like it's just, it doesn't fit in here. Trade the Helm. We found a better control magic effect that didn't require giving up one of my artifacts, which like they're all 3-drop mana rocks. I don't super want to be giving those up because I need to cast Unit or recast Unit.
Yeah. The mana is important.
Yeah, we got Thalia's Lancers because we have legendary creatures, but without it being a Stoneblade deck, it's not like none of them are worth tutoring.
Yeah, and obviously
I'm not gonna
you can't
play that to go find Cloud.
You can't do the strictly worst version of all the Stoneblade packages when all of them are like fucking even mana value and 2 mana.
Yeah, Cloud costs 2, Philia costs 2. I could play like the Sarima, but again, I don't have legendary creatures that I want to spend a deck slot on tutoring. So yeah, we just gave Thalia's Lancers the axe. And then we cut a swamp so that we could further our gates game plan with another gate. We'll get to that later. The things that we swapped in their places, reverse engineer is what we swapped for the Magic Mirror. Like we talked about, I just want those 3 cards up front. The mirror has the potential to draw more over time, but we don't have that time. One of the only times that I ever got that card into play was off of the 7 mana Time Twister with Addendum, emergency powers. And we, like, by the time I'm in the zone of the game where I can cast that and feel good about having cast it, I'm like, we're past the Magic Mirror being a good card in that, and I don't have enough instants and sorceries in my graveyard to get that cast early any other time, so we just it's out. Just give me the 3 cards up front.
Understandable.
For Docent of Perfection, we put in Redain, God of the Worthy, and Valkyria, Protector Shield.
Now that's
so,
a
like,
fucking card.
Yes. I like the shield side for the interaction speed bump it puts in front of my stuff. Like, it's basically Ward 1. And then the front side, the God, is protection from ramp mages, basically. It makes all of their like stuff that's like 4 mana value or more cost 2 more. So it's just, if you're gonna try that, we're gonna buy a little bit more time, and then with that time, hopefully we'll have found a way to make that not as big of a problem for me.
Nice.
For Trade the Helm, we swapped in Become the Pilot. That's the better control magic. It's got several like salt mitigation protocols enabled on it because you can't steal commanders with it, and the creature's unblockable unless you're attacking the person that it was stolen from. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do to make that they have done rather to make that slightly less salty. But it's still a control magic, so I feel like it's going to annoy people. It's still probably going to be higher impact than Trade the Helm, though. So we'll have to see how it plays. For the Lancers, we swapped in Baral's Expertise because it's removal attached to a free spell.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And then the swamp that we cut, we swapped in Gaunt Gate because making my ETB tapped gates enter untapped is going to make the deck play a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a way to tutor for that though, so that might be the next thing. Find a swap for like a world map from Final Fantasy or expedition map.
I mean, there are ones that find gates, right?
I don't know.
Research that, get back to us.
Yeah, will do. This isn't really a real Gates deck. That's just the mana base that we had on hand, and then we had a March from Velas Vale. So like, we leaned in a little bit, but Esper Gates is not a real archetype, so I don't know how interested I am in taking it that seriously.
Well, but you can do it for the bit, though.
I can do it for the bit, though, is the thing. You're right there.
People are gonna be like,
yeah,
bracket 3. What is this mana base? And you're like, check this shit out, and you just fucking style on them.
This is a fucking bracket 2 deck.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Gameplay experience though. As long as you can draw into the removal spells when you need them, it is cool to just sit behind your powerful Sphinx and small bean until you need to bust them shots off. I've had a lot of experiences where I just like don't cast a removal spell for the entire first half of the game, and then when I'm down to the 1v1, I'm like, here's removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, and I've put you in a position where I can fucking cut your head off.
I got some commentary on the trauma conga line of targeting someone with several removal spells. Oh boy, the emotional damage you inflict on those people.
Yeah, it does fucking suck. But I'm just like, I'm the Esper deck who's been sitting and sculpting my hand all game, and I haven't had to use any removal, so like, it's a thing that can be expected. And there's like a lot of experiences where the first half of the game, if you find the Buster Sword, one of the 2 like good cards in the deck, you can just like deal combat damage, and instead of casting a removal spell, cast Party Chase and do the +2 so that each player draws a card. And I don't know, it just like buys a little bit of goodwill. Like I'm drawing everybody a card every turn, and I have Yannette that I'm sitting behind, so like attacking me is not particularly appealing, and people just like have to look the other way.
They're like, okay, this time you can get away with it, but next time, well, you're dead, bucko. It's too late.
Oh, and fucking Stormwing Entity, this card that like nobody plays, has been a banger in the deck for me. I fucking love that guy.
It is great when you get to cast these. Man, Magic is so fucking cool, am I right?
Dude, I love Magic the Gathering. What a game. And it entering and scrying too has been actually like useful. I've been like, let's get these lands out of here so that I don't reveal those when we go to combat with Yannette. And then you go to combat and you reveal another land because the universe hates you. But you know what? You did your part.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're already playing the odds, right? And sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I don't know, it's like fucking Bolus's Citadel that way, right?
Yeah, I am indeed playing the odds B2W. I don't have any even mana valued non-land cards in my deck. Anyway, Time Twister with Upside, that emergency powers that we talked about, is vastly overperformed.
Stupid card.
Wheels as hand disruption is so underrated, and we pretty regularly have something of value that we can put into play. Like, I've got Dusk Mangler in here. You do not want to see that guy off of a fucking emergency powers trigger.
Turns out free spells good, but also just cheating the fucking system. It's like, oh no.
I once put the fucking Sonic enchantment into play off of that Super State. It feels really fucking good. And even with the Magic Mirror is one of the things that I have put in off of emergency powers out of the deck. I've got like, there's enough here. We'll be fine. It's a slow deck though. There's no bones about that. I've got a bunch of 3-drop mana rocks in there, so we do what we can to get where we're going a tiny bit quicker.
Mhm.
But something like Propaganda or Ghostly Prison would probably be helpful. It's crucial to have ways to slow down the faster decks because we're not moving at the same speed as them. Either that or roll very high on your charisma check so that they don't feel the need to correctly focus down the control deck before they can get comfortably seated for the end game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about that the more I've been adding more sort of quote unquote controller like stacks elements to some decks. So that, like, I guess maybe to kind of like tie it into when we're talking about like playing aggro in Commander is like the things that you have to do on top of progressing your board state via like just more small or large like robust creatures, right, that have like on combat triggers and all this other stuff is like you got to clear the way, and there's numerous ways to do that, the proactive and reactive methods, and also just like the stacks angle too of like play Thalia Heretic Athar or Urabrask or Blind Obedience like being the first part of that. But like when you don't have access to those things because just hard like self-imposed restriction or not, like having entire mana values be absent means you got to start digging a little bit deeper to make sure.
It's so fucking rough, dude.
Like, don't interact with me, but I can only do like odd mana value things to make sure that you don't fucking interact with me. And they're like, cool, so I can do that more efficiently on like 2 mana. And you're like, fuck, this fucking sucks.
It sucks so much to have to wait until turn 3 to ramp.
Yeah,
and I don't have
brutal.
Soul Ring in the deck because we're serving bracket too, but like, man, that's a 1 mana ramp spell, ain't it?
And that's exactly what it's meant to do, and that's the only thing it do. And that's fine. It's what it do, Yugi.
Yeah, it allows me to draw 3 cards. All right, it's time.
All right. Please ignore the red string on dartboard behind me. Lest you are okay, it's cube time. It's cube talk time. It's time to talk about the fact that I'm finally a changed man. I've moved beyond Zen Cole in Monk's Robes with 10 decks.
Yeah, you've evolved to a let me tell you about my cube guy.
Let me tell you about my cube that I have put as much level of obscene interconnectivity that Light puts into her Indominus Rex deck. So I'm obviously, to the shock and surprise of no one, I would like to present to you the Johnny Mardu cube. Name pending because Specs in Blue came out of left fucking field with Johnny Marcube, and it fucking, I was like, fucking
got your ass.
Damn it. It would have been so good. And I'm not sure if I'm going to fully commit to that, but we'll get back to that later. So this is not like your traditional 360 card cube. This is 180 cards. And instead of having access to 5 colors and access to like colorless spells, this is very definitively only made of the 3 colors of red, black, and white, because I am a sicko and I need to have other people be drinking from the same chalice as me for a bit. So let's back up a bit. Let's give a bit of context here. So if you know Joel or Enthrallment, and you know he hasn't been around online for a while because he's busy being like a dad and doing his job and going to our meetups and playing cards. And he is part of the group of people that is lamenting the existence of Universes Beyond because it is creating like a it is creating friction with his experiences during the summer. He's a teacher, so when he learned that Marvel Superheroes was going to be like the first draftable set, like when he was finally off work and he was going to draft it with his kid, he's like, why couldn't it have been in a Magic set? And he went to go play Hobbit because he's like, listen.
If the fucking Tolkien property doesn't get the pass, what are we doing?
Yeah. But then everyone plays black red in the draft environment and whatever. But he won. So one of his growing frustrations was like, okay, well, if I'm not going to spend any money, what the fuck am I going to be doing for 2 months, right? Is he going to be around for when people are going to be doing Final Fantasy again, or they're going to be running Tarkir Dragonstorm, like some of the stores that'll be like dissatisfied with whatever draft environment is being presented. Now his current solution to that is dollar store repack drafts with his kid.
Nice.
But before that came to fruition, one of the things that we were talking about on and off for the last few months, like I think probably since the beginning of the year, I'm like, bro, I think it's time we got to make a cube. And he's like, bro, I hear you. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. And I'm like, bro, I also have no idea what I'm doing because whenever we get together, we're playing Commander. But I believe in us, and someone's got to like bite the bullet or start getting the fucking needle going. So I was like, out of all of us, like who was going to do it? And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Right. So the next step, of course, was like, okay, if I'm going to make a cube, what the fuck am I doing? Because I got to like create some guardrails because I don't know if anyone doesn't know this. I don't draft for shit. I do not play limited. Like, I barely go to pre-releases. And, I know there's a lot of people out there, hey, the Steel Cities being like, you should play with your cards more and all this other stuff. And I'm like, Steph in particular, because I know she's the woman who will be like hand on shoulder. If you open sealed product and don't play with it, I will find you. And I'm like, God damn it. But like, why would I want to blow $50 or $60 on a pre-release that I may or may not enjoy because I just lack some of the transferable skills, as they say, from Commander to a limited format. So I'm like, okay, I don't have that expertise. So what do I have to do? Would it be A, read a bunch of articles, B, listen to a lot of podcasts, C, listen to a bunch of YouTube videos, or D, choose 180 as the card limit and choose the 3 colors and say fuck it for the rest of the concepts. So if you chose any of the other ones except for D, you don't know me very well. So the next step was like, okay, so what the hell is a Q-Bert or a 2-Bert or what's the stuff? Because if not everyone is going to be available all the time, or if we have 6 people showing up and 4 people want to play Commander, then maybe we can split up and have like a 2-person bot or something. Like, it's transferable. It could be just the right size for like 2 to 4 people, and it serves the exact needs of like whatever we're looking for, like a limited environment. So then the next step was taking Marchesa Dan or Marchesa Dan or Bar Dan or whatever the fuck you wanted to call it, the Singleton Queen Marchesa Dan deck, and take it out back like Old Yeller, and then pillage it for parts and reorganize it like some Frankenstein monster into this deck, which I'm pretty sure I like only took the bare minimum out of that pile anyway. And I'm like, I need the mana base. I need the fucking mana base and a few of these things, and then fuck it. I'm going to take out over like 500 cards out of cards on my desk, aka the cards in my boxes, and just start like going through it and being like, I can get it down to 180 cards because you don't need to do basic lands. And if you want to do like other types of lands, you can add in a small amount and for your fixing or whatever and move on. So let's talk about the iceberg that is the Johnny Mardu cube. We're playing Mardu. That was the guarantee. That was going to be the start of it, which means, yes, no green, no black, or sorry, no green, no blue, and a concerted effort to not include any colorless cards yet with an asterisk, which means that it allowed me to divide the cube down pretty easily almost into perfect threes if it weren't for the fact that I have 3 quote-unquote Mardu color ID cards in here. So the ratio is 40 cards for white, black, and red. Then it's 19 cards for Rakdos, Orzhov, and Boros with the quote-unquote 3 Mardu cards. And again, it's cards off my desk. I've tried to avoid buying stuff for this thing immediately, despite the fact that I have failed that, and I have a bunch of cards that I'm like, I'll play with these in the near future for a multitude of reasons, because I got some fucking ideas. And then the last obvious thing is that a lot of these cards are like, it's not just like cards that I have. These are a lot of cards that like I've either had in decks or wanted to put in decks for a long time, and so now like it has a home for it, and I'm like, so this is just fully showing my ass to everyone about what type of fucking weirdo I am and what I think about like Magic, right? Then the next step, the next part of the ice cube as we go further down into the depths was I'm like, what are like the archetypes or themes that I can put into this deck? And I pitched it to the group chat at one point on and off of like, how do I like theme the card draw? How do I theme like the creature suite? How do I theme like how does these colors do board wipes, right? So you get into color combos of like Rakdos and Boros, you can get a little more iffy with it, but like black, I was like, if we do kill spells, it's got to be like Languish. It's got to be Tragic Slip, so it's something that gives like a negative value. And then I kind of like cheat a little bit with Power Word Kill, which I'll go over in a second when we go about 3 levels down. Obviously, it's very creature dense and heavy, so I wanted a mix between like low curve and high curve creatures that are like flyers and menace and first strikers and lifelinkers and death touchers and tramplers and all that other stuff of like, hey, I love throwing creatures sideways. Let's give you opportunities to do that to each other in this environment. And then now we go to the third level of what are the typal strategies that I can focus on. What I started with when I had like that pile of like 500 goddamn fucking cards in change, was like, okay, what are like the foundational things that I don't really want to do in Commander, but like when I look at a general overview of like the Magic sets that I really love, what are the things that I really dig? And it's like, okay, straight up Innistrad. Okay, so that's humans and vampires and zombies and angels and demons and maybe some spirits and like all these things that you would expect from the plane, right? And then I'm like, okay, how do I like mechanically tie in the human thing? Well, when you look at the breakdown, it turns out humans take probably like over 50% of all the creature type representation by
that's Magic the Gathering.
So it's like, okay, human resiliency, we got that in spades more than ever. What about the other things? The initial first passes that I had of the thing was like very loose mechanically of like, you got some angels, and you got some demons, you got some dragons because, you know, heck, we're doing dragons. I'm like, yeah, of course, I got to put, if we're playing red, we got to put some dragons in there. And if we're playing black, we're going to put some demons in there. We're playing white, we got to put some angels in there. And then, you know. Yeah,
it's fucking Marty. You got to do the Kalia roleplay where you can.
Yeah. And then, but then, we'll get, so it's like, there were some initial representations of creature types that were like, you know, very poorly represented. I tried having a zombie like typal subtype. It did not work out because, as it turns out, despite the fact that I wanted like Orzhov to be the zombie representation, you don't have enough white zombies to pull the weight. The hybrid Orzhov zombies are kind of like whatever, and then the black zombies are still like highly dependent on other zombies being present. And when you have 10 creatures representing a type like that, it's not really enough. So
Yeah,
we
makes
now
sense.
we now enter the fourth level of what the fuck am I doing here? And it was after we managed to use Draft Sim and OBS and our respective play testers of choice, which were all in Moxfield. Which, by the way, I'm currently still in the middle of editing last Thursday's stream for the Johnny Mardu experience, so I'll get that out on MTG Lexicon in the near future. But I'm doing a bit of creative liberties here and there, and I'm going to be tweaking and moving some stuff around as we managed to play. We not only had the draft, but we managed to play 4 games, which was pretty great. And I attempted to take the feedback, which is now we're right back at the fucking board with all the pins and red string on it of how many vampires and party subtypes can I manage to cram into this list of 180 cards? As it turns out, it's not 0. So now we have entered the 4th level of absolute fucking nonsense levels of adding typal archetype underneath the aggro spell slinger aristocrat subtypes that are in this deck. So I needed a way to somehow tie the Kalia mechanics together of demons, angels, and dragons. The next step was I knew that I had to get the vampire count increased in order for certain things to be like to have a little bit more use, because excuse me, when you and like Joe and P Frizz were drafting, you were like you specifically had Bloodline Necromancer.
Yeah.
And you were like, man, there are not enough wizards and or vampires in this pool for me to like justify having this, right? So it's like
I actually was like super proud of my draft deck because we put together this sweet reanimator build. I got my bombs, I got my reanimate spells, and we were picking basically all of those for the like our main picks. And yeah, the fucking Bloodline Necromancer was like, this is such a sick reanimation spell, but I have like no targets.
Yeah. So realizing the error there, I was like, okay, so I need to get the vampire count up to like justify the inclusion of a certain number of things. And I also had to, because I added Solemn Doom Guide, which was a card from the Battle for Baldur's Gate set of each creature card in your graveyard that is one of the 4 party types of cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard has an earth. And I'm like, okay, I can't just have this be the linchpin for the warrior thing. So I'm like, okay, let's scratch a bunch of cards and be like, if it isn't at least one of or 2 types, I can't justify keeping it in slot for this thing. So I wish I could go back and like had the definitive 1.0 version and instead of what the 1.04 version that we got here. But I'm like, okay, we need to get more vampires in here to I can't exactly remember what was the vampire thing supposed to be, and I couldn't tell you exactly off the top of my head, but I was like, oh wait, I remember. In the Rakdos section, I put in Stromgar Captain, where it's other vampires you control a +1/+1 in first strike. There was not enough for it to be justified to run in your Rakdos aggro deck for its rate. So I'm like, okay, vampires to add Immerstrom Predator, which also is an aristocrat card, and Anti-Grave Tech, which like that's great. Zagger's Thief of Heartbeats, which also ties into the party mechanic.
Zagreus is that bitch.
Yeah. Hungry for More, which creates a vampire token with flashback, which also ties back into the flashback sub-theme that is completely throughout all the colors. So if you wanted to be that crazy person who wanted to draft I'm like Burning Vengeance or whatever, like that's where that's where you're gonna get it. So it's like, okay, now we need to add in more vampires in, I guess, like the black color pie, because that's mostly where it is. But guess what? We're fucking crazy. We can add a splash of white vampires just to like give you, if you wanted to draft fucking Mardu vampires, I will give you the power to do so, because we got Mavern Fane, Dusk Apostle, and Bishop of Binding in white. But they're also clerics, which ties back into the party thing. So that's how fucking nutty I am about the level of like party rep, without getting into like, hey, where are the clerics that like enjoy the existence of clerics? I will get back to you on that, I promise. There's warriors typal like focus as part of the party thing with like Arsh and Foremost and Bloodchin Fanatic. So you can make like
yes, dude,
a black white warrior / like party deck. Vadmir New Blood is a vampire rogue, possibly soon to be cut out for a card I'll talk about in a second here. Direfleet Ravager is a wizard, but unfortunately he's going to be cut out for Fiend of the Shadows. I don't know if you've heard about this card, Quinn.
I have not.
It is a Dark Ascension card. It's 5 mana for a 3/3 vampire wizard. That when it deals combat damage to a player, the player exiles a card from their hand, and you may play that card for as long as it remains exiled.
Oh, holy shit! I do know her. She's from the Dark Ascension, yes, but she's in the Prosper Precon.
I believe that, yeah. But then you can sacrifice a human to regenerate it, which, hey, that's a way to get your mechanical tie-in with humans too. So I'm like so fucking deep on this shit of like, if like I'm looking at Abbot of Carol Keep, despite the fact that I'm like, I want this guy and Dragonkin Berserker and Young Peasy to fucking stay around in this deck for as long as possible, because it's like monks and shamans got no fucking support in here. I don't want to fucking hear it. But at the same time, I need red to have mechanical functionality that goes just beyond make tokens and or turn creatures sideways, right?
I did pick the Dragonkin Berserker.
Yeah,
so
I think that card's going to be...
I believe.
That card, I think, is going to be sweet. So, you know, I'm holding on, right? But everything around that, like, that has been, like, meticulously, like, I say meticulously as like I haven't been fucking obsessing it over like the last 2 weeks of just like tear cards out, look at it and be like, can I justify keeping in devils to tie into the demon subtype? Because let's scroll to black, because I was like, hey, you remember when I said that black spells had to, like, if they were going to be removal, they had to be like -X or whatever, with like certain outliers, or looking at a Cursed Marauder, a sack outlet, like a 4-sec or edict. So Power Word Kill was my like, okay, here's like the typal thing of you can destroy something, but it can't be an angel, it can't be a demon, it can't be a devil, and it can't be a dragon, which is where the real haymakers are. So if you draft that card, you're like, fuck, are they gonna fucking get me with just like fuck off like dragons and demons?
Am I gonna die to Glorybringer?
Like, you know,
the answer is yes.
Yeah. And then I'm like, Scavenger Regen. If I'm gonna have -X as a thing, you can draft Scavenger Regen and you can go black red like dragons and have cost exude toxin for each non-dragon creature getting -X until end of turn. But then what if you're the non-dragon person and the other person drafts Scavenger Regen? You're like, fuck. And then I'm like, okay, I can put in Kalia Zenith Seeker as one of the Mardu cards to be like, if you're a baller draft player in this limited format of 180 cards and up to 4 players, you could start drafting demons and dragons and angels and be able to successfully hit them off the top with a Kalia. And then you still have like a vigilant flying 3/3 beater on top of it.
Yeah, I've always really liked this Kalia, so it pleased me to see her here.
Yeah, that price point, like, why is she $10 goddamn? I don't know, because like
what?
No one can fucking find her nowadays. I don't know. I grabbed her when Corset M28 came out, but I was like, you know,
back when people were like, this is the bad Kalia, before she got reformed into the playable Kalia.
You got, first of all, anyone who thinks a card is bad is fucking wildin', but regardless.
Oh yeah, they are wildin'.
So kind of to tie it all together of like how fucking nutso I am. I was like, man, I want to play Akul the Unrepentant. Well, guess what? He's a dragon rogue and also a scorpion, so he goes in here.
Oh shit, he's a dragon and a party member. Nice.
Vito, Fanatic of Aklusots, is a vampire demon. So there you go. You get the vampires and then you get the demons. So yeah. I'm hooked, and I'm hoping that when my friends out here get to sit down and draft it, I hope that they get to enjoy it, because I don't know, I guess, like, is this the best way of like getting out from Commander's thumb and spreading my wings, so to speak? I don't know just yet, but based off of like the games that we had on Thursday on stream, I think this could be a pretty fun experience in a vacuum.
Yeah, I think we all had a lot of fun playing that, and I would like to draft it again.
Cool. I mean, Mike C said he's down for it, and I'm like, man, we got to make it happen. The version you see now may not be the one that is actually released, or the one you see now at the time of listening may not have been the one that I was looking at when we recorded. We don't know yet.
Of course.
The week is young, shit can change at any given time. What I'm hoping to do is obviously, one of the things to note, I guess, is like, one, obviously, like I want the feedback from everyone, and I think the feedback from you all from the other week was great. But the on top of that, we got to see some fucking magic be played during those 4 games. You were fucking you were playing Elite Spellbinder against Joe, and you
dude, I made that such a non-game for him.
Yeah, like the fact that it's like, okay, hey, so what does Elite Spellbinder do? So when it enters, you look at an opponent's hand, you may exile an online card from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it, and it costs 2 more to cast, which I guess that was kind of also part of like the mechanical tie-in of like, if I'm putting Lightstall Inquisitor, which is an angel wizard, in Elite Spellbinder, which is a human cleric, and Reprieve. I
drafted like every stacks card that I came across. So I had Athalia, I had the Lightstall, I had the Elite Spellbinder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you were not I don't want to fucking hear it. You're not casting spells. And you were like, oh man, oh no, you killed my Elite Spellbinder. Anyway, here's Dread Return, and I'm bringing it back, and I'm fucking doing it again. And I'm like, holy shit, like we're fucking gaming, right?
And then I had a blink spell for the Elite Spellbinder, so we did it again.
Yeah. The feedback is one thing, but watching sort of like unintended emergent gameplay, as they call it in like game design, where people are doing things that were the game, like the deck or the game or the format or whatever is not explicitly designed for. Yeah, that's pretty fucking sweet. Love to see it. I'm interested to see what other people come up with as this is drafted in the future, because everyone engages with this game so differently, and I wonder what they'll do when they're given like such a severe limited number of game pieces that I'm like, man, have you seen this shit? And everyone's like, I have no fucking clue what this card is, Cole. What is this? And then you'll see the puzzles come together and everyone's like, wow, I love this puzzle. And everyone's looking at a fucking Rubik's Cube from a different angle. So yeah, that is at least the 4/5 levels of the iceberg that is this cube. And we'll see.
Oh yeah, dude.
We'll see what happens in the next few weeks. I'm hoping to get some IRL reps in, but not everyone's available just yet. So I guess we'll just keep it to the online stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to drafting that again.
Sick. What do you got to help close us out this episode? For Dragon Seth.
Yeah, okay. We can do that.
We can do that. We got the time.
All right. So hey, remember how we talked at the top about I wanted or rather, Dracuseth passing the vibe check. Yeah, we're talking about her now. I had a vision of a universe where I was putting people in the dirt with Dracuseth commander damage, and I decided that I wanted to live in that universe. So we looked at the cards on my desk, we put the ramp spells and the card advantage into a pile, we put a couple of knives into the pile as well, and then we sleeved it all up and put a 7 mana 7/7 flyer in the command zone, and that'll probably get there eventually. So that's the game plan. I got fucking 16-ish ramp spells in this pitch because I'm trying to like hit 2 of them and play Dracuseth a couple turns ahead of schedule at like a turn 5 or something. We have a bunch of stuff from precons for card advantage and, like stuff on my desk. So I've got a lot of impulse draw and then discard my hand and draw X cards type beats. The discard draw, we've got fucking... You've heard quite a few of these, I'm sure, given the types of gamers that are around here. But we've got the fucking Phyrexian Dragon Engine, Seasoned Pyromancer, Tersa Light Shatter, the Neb that wheels and gives you mana, Ox of Agonis, Null Spine Dragon, Thrill of Possibility, Decaying Time Loop, Artist Talent. Like, I'm doing all of the moving cards between zones like that. And then on top of that, I'm also stacked with Impulse Draw. We got the Flux, we got Furious Rise, we got Commune with Lava, we got Ignite the Future, we got Rob the Archives, Yasmin Khan, Tectonic Giant, and Chandra Fire Artisan. All we are doing is fucking ramping and drawing cards, and then eventually Dracuseth will show up. Also, I've got knives.
Yeah, to the shock and surprise of no one.
Yeah, you know me. You know what I'm about. We got a chainsaw, we got a batter skull, we got an ember cleave, we got a cauldron complete. I'm moving in a way that's going to advance life total, or advance the game state meaningfully via the reduction of life totals. You know what the fuck it is, gamers. As far as gameplay experiences, doing a lot of like ramping and drawing cards in the first 3/4 of the game, and then Dracuseth shows up usually. She has not done the thing where she's supposed to show up on turn 5 and does so. It's like always late game when she shows up. But we had a game with, I think, you and Bugs and Medusa, where you were like getting swung at with lethal zombie damage and you try to like bob and weave your way out of it. And I have celebrated Ikoria combat trick Raking Claws in my impulse draw zone, so we just hit that at instant speed on one of those zombies that were unblocked.
I fucking saw that, like, and I'm like, holy shit, is that fucking Raking Claws? And you're like, yup. You're like, indeed. And I'm like, well, I can't do shit. I can't do shit about that.
I'm just like looking at the math and I'm like, no, actually, I think I need to have you die right here so that I can kill Bugs and then I see myself like better positioned for the W. And that's how things ended up going. We got the lethal damage on you via double strike there. And then we land Dracuseth. We get a big attack in. We take out Bugs with like splash damage from the attack trigger. And we put Medusa within lethal range if we get one more swing. And then we go to end step and impulse draw Inferno of the Star Mounts with Furious Rise. So I'm like, sick. Okay, we're well positioned. I've also fucking got Ember Cleave in hand.
Yeah, I was like, check. I got all the sauce. What are you going to do about it? And the answer is, not much.
Medusa ends up elking Dracuseth, so I'm like, shit, we got our one attack and that has to be sufficient. We cast Dracuseth from the impulse draw zone though, and they put haste on that bitch, so we get to swing in, and Medusa doesn't have blockers, but even if she did, I have the 5-up for Ember Cleave, so we're getting in there. GG's.
Very nice, yeah. You had some tricks that game, and then on top of that, it's just like you got... fuck off dragons, and then more fuck off dragons.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what we got. Hey, Dracuseth still got it, and if it's got haste, then wow,
Yeah.
what a card! I
Fucking
gotta put a fire crystal in this deck somehow.
yeah. I mean, I believe in you because it's the fucking fire crystal, and you should be definitely on that shit. Because damn, that haste and cost
Yeah.
reduction.
Let me get Dracuseth a turn earlier. Let me get haste and Dracuseth, and then I can just like immediately start pouring lava on people's board states.
Oh man. I know this is just like cute, and in the back of my head, I'm just like, I don't know why Rising of the Day is on the brain, because it also gives legendary creatures +1/+0, and does that really matter in the grand scheme of things when fucking Dracuseth is throwing around fucking boatloads of damage just on the attack trigger? Like, I don't know, but like it's
No, it doesn't
you also
matter,
get
but
the haste.
is crucial.
Yeah.
That's why we have it.
Fucking yeesh. What a deck. Spooky stuff. Red has been so fun recently. Also, fuck you, Light and Medusa, for that fucking bait. I don't want to fucking hear it, and I'm bringing it up. But I'm also like, what a bunch of fucking nonsense. Bullshit.
Oh man, you took that bait so easily, and I'm just like, brother, you have a giant fish hook in your cheek.
Shut up. It's a piercing. It's cosmetic.
Man, speaking of red cards, though, I do think that I need to probably play another damage-based board wipe. I've been thinking about Nibelheim of Flame, and I think I might cut Yasmin Khan for that. Because in practice, she's like 4 mana value and only shows me 1 card per turn. I gotta, like, if you're gonna be an impulse draw card engine, I need you to come down cheaper, like Count on Luck, or I need you to be like Charred Foyer, Warp Space, and provide just an unbelievable amount of value.
Yeah, it's like red cards have obviously only gotten better over time, but it really does not make cuts any easier when you're trying to have a particular game experience and you're also trying to ramp to a 7 mana dragon and also have like a haste source or some kind of like additional evasion. Like, oh, let's give Dracuseth mana through trample, like on top of everything else you're trying to do while keeping your hand flush.
Yeah. It's a lot to be doing. But
where's connecting the dots? God damn it.
I'm not attacking with enough creatures for it to feel that
Where's
good, TBH.
Hoarders? Hold on a second. Where is it? Hoarders. Fuck. I had the card.
Oh, that card with the stash counters?
Yes. You have
I
enough
forgot the name of it.
You have enough non-creatures, I think, to...
Yeah, the majority of the deck is non-creatures, actually. It's just ramp and card draw and then like 20 dragons or some shit.
Yeah.
It's not actually 20 dragons,
But
it's
it's
like 20 cards to ramp or draw cards.
Still.
I got, in my bangers section, we got fucking Dragon Tyrant, Kevin Questing Dragon, Sire of 7 Deaths, Inferno Tits, Nullspine Dragon, Inferno of the Star Mounts, Atali Primal Storm, and then it starts going down from there. But there's like an Ember Maw Hellion because I love this card, and then Ox of Agonis is also a 5-drop.
Yeah.
A lot of people are sleeping on Ox of Agonis, but I still love her.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I got the Ox in Boros Sephiroth for a reason. Just don't look earlier in our group chat. That's all I got. That's all I got to say about that.
I read everything.
Fuck, damn it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I told someone to cut Ox of Agonist from a deck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steven. I'm sorry. I betrayed you.
It was probably supposed to go from that deck, though. I think you were right. It's just that my deck has way more ramp and stuff to support it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can definitely exploit it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm definitely here to empty my hand and then draw 3 cards. Like, oh no, I discarded my hand of 0 cards. We'll be all right.
We will keep drinking from the mono red chalice because shit's good.
Mm-hmm. And mono red's a cult, and this Kool-Aid's delicious.
I need to get more foil Dracuseths because I deserve that.
You should have a pre-release promo, Dracuseth. You do deserve that.
You're so right. You're so right. All right. I guess it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, that about does it for this episode. This is the part where we tell you where you can find us online. So I'm online at Grodic Energy. Cole's online at The Bloodrick Guy. We are online collectively at HBVC-radio-MTG on VSky, and we be hanging out on the MTG Lexicon Twitch stream on the weekends playing Magic the Gathering out there. And sometimes during the week we be cubing and stuff. Just like check out the channel. We be getting up to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we miss anything?
Just to, I guess go back to that for the lexicon thing. So, at the time of recording, one of the hosts, Bjorn's been doing a Pokemon Platinum Blind Nuzlocke, and it seems like he's going to be doing a few more randomized Pokemon runs in the near future, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking into doing something as well. I just don't know exactly what yet, except maybe just be like the draft meister for the Johnny Mardu thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have a valued role as the host of the Cube Draft every now and again. We are still waiting for the Johnny Mardu #TierSlop stream.
Right. You know what? You totally reminded me. I think I need to I do got that just about ready. So maybe I'll do that in like the next couple weeks. I don't know. We got the time.
Nice.
We got the time.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Cool. But yeah, that's it, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Later, gamers.